All right. You're still in the ruins of Guldur with Radagast, puzzled by all the findings that you did find. Great. And you're about to leave the ruins. Just before you do, though, Radagast does seem to like stop for a moment, and he senses something. He just gives you a warning to be prepared. And you are now right before the main gate, about to exit. Given that the warning from Radagast that something foul is about and you should be prepared, anything you would like to actually prepare with?
Well, now what we have, what we had so far, we saw a pile of dead bodies in the main room.
You saw a huge pile of dead bodies just before you entered the ruins. Otherwise, into the ruins itself, you only saw few remains of dead bodies, which were like quite ancient. But in the top, in the tower, and the library room, you saw a recently dead orc and a recently dead man, apparently from Lake Town.
Yeah, they are kind of like the goons.
Yeah, the last thing I remember is thinking about an elven traitor.
And the dagger in the back.
Yeah, you also found an elven dagger into the back of the orc.
Okay. So, well, we have an obvious hint here about burning the bodies.
Yeah, it's okay. You can, well...
Anyways, I mean, we all know about it. So...
Sure, then let's burn the bodies.
It's a bit too late for that. Out of character. Thing is, like I said, you're about to exit into the clearing before the ruins. Radagast tells you there's something foul about. So in character, is there like any way your characters would prepare? Like,
all right,
would do?
Something foul about from a magician is enough for me to draw out my weapon set. Just prepare for what's coming. It's been a nightmare so far.
Yes, one question, just to be clear. If I remember correctly, I'm still frightened. Am I?
Oh, you're one of the frightened ones.
And the only one, actually, I think.
Oh, nice. Well, oh, in that case, you can still run, you know. Remember, the frightened condition, you cannot really approach someone that you're frightened of. And
I think I have a disadvantage while I shoot on attacks and stuff.
Yeah, a disadvantage if you attack while that thing is in sight. And well, the thing is, though, you didn't really get frightened by something in particular. You got frightened by the foul magic in the place.
Yep.
So basically, that means that we'll see when you come out. But you can still like run away, and if you get cornered, you can dodge, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So maybe hearing that there's something foul about. Let's see what your character does. Giles. Is it Giles or Gills or Jills? How do you pronounce that?
I tend to think it was Shields, but you can say whatever.
No. Tell me, how would you pronounce your character?
Yeah, Gills, the rubber one.
All right, yeah. Gills. All right, you, the frightened one. What do you do?
Well, when he says that, he will most certainly take out his shield, be at the ready, kind of like ever so slightly approach more Radagast, like looking around with his eyes, like not really inspired by those words.
All right, and what about you, Elf? What weapon would you equip?
Yeah, I'm going to get my shield and my spear out. And I'm going to stand next to Gilles.
All right.
Because I know he's not the best at fighting, so.
So the gate is like slightly ajar. It's not like actual serious doors, so it's very easy to open. Any one of you wants to peek outside, or are you gonna just burst open and?
I think I'm going to peek outside.
All right.
Do you hear something, or I mean, is it foggy? Is it dark? Is it?
Yeah, there is a very unnatural mist all over the place ever since you entered the swamps, which was a few days away. And in this part of Mirkwood is always twilight, even during the day, and during the night is like pitch dark, black dark. Then only elves can see, and maybe wizards can find their way. All right, Daramidan, did I say that? Darium. All right, Daramidan, you peek through the slightly ajar gate of Guldur, and what you see, I'll ask you for a charisma saving throw first.
A charisma saving throw, okay.
Yep.
Oh, no, that's not good.
It's not.
That's a 6.
6. All right. So I'm going to describe it to your character as your character would have seen that. So before you enter, there was like this about 8 feet in diameter clearing right in front of Guldur before the woods started and thickets and the brushes and everything. What you remember last time was that there was a huge pile of dead bodies, mostly orcs, well, mainly orcs, a few goblins and such, and wolves. And now, what you do see is they are not on a pile. They are just wandering somewhat aimlessly. Some of them are missing limbs. Some of them have missing heads. Some of them are crawling on the floor on the ground because they don't have some legs or something. But they're like this huge mess. Like there's almost no conceivable, path that you can go through. You have to like think of something. And there's also grunts. There's like brr, brr, brr. There are no even separate orcish words, and this kind of gives you a fright. Now you're not actually you're not like actually frightened like the condition and everything, but yes, your character is a bit let's say
taken aback.
Yeah. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to slowly and dramatically turn to the rest of my party. And I'm going to tell them the dead have risen. They're walking.
Oh shit. Even Gil is scared.
And I'm going to look both scared and like really surprised. And I'm going to look at Radagast, the right direction from him.
Have you seen that before? Because I've seen things get killed, but I've never seen things walking around after that.
Radagast will give you a very ominous sigh, and he'll say the following. Well, I was afraid of this, but I did not believe that it would come over here that soon. So stay with me, because it's my fault that you are in this wretched place that you should not be. So stick with me, and you may just get through. Do not stray in any for any reason at all. And
don't worry about that.
You're on that one.
And if we get it back to Rosgobel, I will show you my appreciation for the risks that you took. and obviously your fate is somehow woven with what's going on here, but it will be still for you to decide. But I just cannot let you die here. Maybe my lords will disapprove of what I'm about to do, but I have to do it anyway. So he bursts the. I'm sorry, you were going to say something during his monologuing.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask: should we fight? Should we fight those teams?
What you do see is that his staff will suddenly light up. He will shout a few words that even the scholar among you doesn't understand. By the way, the moment he heard about this, your halfling friend just disappeared out of sight, and your woodman friend is also standing ready for you to crash and fight your way through. So he will just shout at the doors, and the doors will just bust open, and they'll actually break. And the shrapnels from the doors will actually just take down a little bit of those walking undead zombie orcs around you that will fall, but immediately everyone's gazes will be upon you. So he will shout towards the heavens, and actually these mists and clouds that were surrounding the whole area will start to swirl around him, and some lightning will from that some for now very faint lightning will start gathering and just hitting things all around him, and you'll see like orcs will be zapped and falling to the ground, but still there's plenty of orcs for everyone. So roll me some initiative.
Alright.
That's what I like to hear.
Yes.
And that's not what I like to see. That's gonna be a...
So can you put it in the chat for everyone so
Yeah, that's
that
what I...
I take it from there? Okay.
These are some interesting initiatives.
I may not be the smartest, but I am the slowest.
All right. Gills,
Yep.
what do you do?
I guess. So we have like all the things that are looking like towards us, and we are still at the doors. So
Imagine it like this. You have 80 feet towards the bushes, the briquettes, the wizard is with you. He told you to stay with him. So basically, your movement here doesn't really apply unless, of course, you want to stray away from the wizard. Imagine the wizard will be keeping his spell up, trying to keep a small protective pocket to guide you through all of this, but still he cannot just stop everyone. So there'll be orcs coming in and out. So basically your reactions, apart from movement, which you don't have to really worry about, unless you want to run away from the wizard, it's an option. You can still fight them off if you want to, or take the dodge action if you want to, just keep yourself on the defensive, or if you have any other tricks up your sleeve, just
yeah, I think, given what he said, Gilles will be making sure he's like between the elf and the wizard itself, and he will just take the dodge action, kind of probably take his sword out just in case, in the other hand, but he will be just like stay on the defense and not be attentive for any attempts of these creatures while he tries to stay as close as possible to the others as he can.
All right. The wizard will move forwards and you'll all move with him. Orcs will still be falling left and right from him, but a few of them would still try to get you with whatever weapons they have left in their hands or with their hands themselves. So, Gils, you said you get taken a dodge action, right?
Yep.
All right, so I'll deal with you first there. There is one of them swings with its sword and misses you completely. The second one tries to grab you. This one doesn't have a weapon. He's just trying to grapple you and just keep you away from the wizard and drag you into the crowd. But you manage just to slash it away with your shield like that. And now we are going to see, in this particular time, you see that the hobbit is putting his cloak all over himself, and he's like just jumping into the mud and trying to, look like a big pile of stones or whatever, or a big chunk of soil of some sorts. Your friend the Burning is also fighting, and see the same thing. Not the Burning, the what was his name? Marakar. One of them is trying to grapple him and unsuccessfully. One's trying to hit him, and you don't know if that pierces his armor or not. Two are trying now to do the same to Darren. Darren, give me an athletics or an acrobatics check, because one of the orcs is trying to jump on you and also grapple you to keep you in place.
An athletics or an acrobatics check?
Yeah, it's your choice, depending on whether your character is strong and you're trying to, just fight it off, the one who's trying to grapple you, or is flexible enough to just escape the grapple.
It's 11 both ways.
It's 11 total?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Someone's calling me on the phone.
All right, cool.
I'm going to profit this moment. I got a small cat again? When you were saying like the second one, did I got hit or it missed you?
Yeah, both of them missed you.
Okay, just to be sure. Because seems like, I don't know, it's like the connection itself is good. I just get like micro cuts that fucks up the call.
That could be a Bing thing, but I'm not really that into that shit. I mean, I used to be, but not anymore. What are you on though? Are you on a computer or on a phone?
The PC. Well, the laptop.
PC.
Oh,
laptop.
Yeah.
Are you using Wi-Fi or are you using a wired connection?
Wi-Fi. I don't
that
really have.
Could be one of the things, because Wi-Fi is, it is stable, but it's still radio signal, so it just goes like this. And sometimes
the thing is, I had also Wi-Fi in Burgos. I actually didn't have like an alternative. Well, really, I don't really have it here anymore. But there it was like really stable. I don't know why here, because the connection itself, like now it's perfect. It's just that suddenly it drops and then picks up again. I don't know what does he have at times, those like micro disconnections. Let's say that.
I'm telling you, it could be this. That's why I got a 10-meter cable, and I just when we play, I plug it in and go through the other room to the router.
Yeah, I think here I don't really have, because where I play, I don't think I can reach.
Another thing you can do is,
but I don't think I can do that here.
Another thing you can do is there's those little softwares programs that can watch your Wi-Fi and then watch the surrounding Wi-Fi. Are you like in a block of apartments or something, or just a separate house? What's your living condition? Javier, with us? Oh.
Ooh, I'm having cuts again, I think.
Well, I couldn't hear you for a while. So are you in like a block of apartments, like different flats? And I don't know what's the English word for that. I used to know that. Anyways, or are you like in a house somewhere with no neighbors and stuff? All right. Again, do you have like a lot of neighbors around you?
No, this is it's a single house. It's not like an apartment.
It's a single house.
Yeah, in Burgos it was an apartment, but here with my parents it's like a single house.
And how many walls are there between you and your Wi-Fi?
2. Like the one on the room I'm in, and the one of the, because there's like my room, the corridor, and the room where the Wi-Fi is. But in theory, here it's like the signal itself. It's also like max connection.
Sometimes it's not
Like
just
full
that.
signal.
Sometimes like there could be another radio thing on the same frequency, and your signal will be looking good, but the interference will be too much, and that's why you'll be dropping in and out. Is there like a Navy base or an airport near
like
you?
interference? Yeah, but here, I mean, there's not much around, so.
Weird. Well, then it's weird. But anyways, if you could find a cable,
I mean,
that goes under the
not
doors.
close enough, I think. I mean, there's like a big port, but it's in a city that's a few, like 3,000 kilometers away.
I see. Well, like I said, if you find a long cable and slide it
There's an
under the
airport, but that's
doors,
even farther away.
you can try this with the cable. Now, where's my wine? So, Roddy, are you back? No, he's not. I'm gonna take my wine and be right back.
Yeah,
Okay.
you were talking about the internet connection, so I thought.
I'm sorry about that. I'm back.
We're all good. Thor went out also, so.
He seems like he lost something.
Yeah, he's wine.
His wine.
Exquisite.
The
Yeah.
exquisite wine was lost.
He takes a sip of his wine.
Oh, what if the orc stole it?
Oh.
He seemed really upset though. That wine must be good.
I'm not watching.
Found it. Jesus. All right. Roddy, are you back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, man, this orc manages to grapple you by the feet and holds you into the place while the other one is trying to slash at your AC of you currently wearing shield, right? So
Yep.
yeah, that's a hit, man. Yes.
A shield. He sees like the one orc managed to get past like the elf guard and get a hold of him, but like impairing him for a moment. That another one tries to profit, like to bring like his jagged weapon on him, and he's there like paralyzed by fear for a moment. But before he can realize, he suddenly feels himself lunging forward with his shield up. He doesn't really know what he's doing, but he finds himself like kind of climbing or well perching himself like on the side of the elf, trying to like launch himself forward to stop the blow. And yeah, he's going to use his reaction to use his founder feature and impose disadvantage on that attack.
All right. And by the way, is this like a reaction?
Yep, exactly a reaction. I think. Let me check. Yeah, your reaction. Exactly.
All right. So, just as you do so, the orc hesitates, and the very last moment, his sword was just about to go around the shield of down, and just hits at the last moment and just glances off. And now, Parador. You did? Yeah, definitely. Because being hit by this disgusting blades is not a good thing. Parador, two are doing the same thing for you. One is trying to grapple you. Can you give me your athletics or acrobatics check?
18 with +2 from strength.
All right, so basically you just brush off this orc that's trying to get you. The other one is trying to hit you with his foul blade, though, and that is a miss. All right, Darren, it's up to you. But now you grapple. The only thing that grapple makes in this game is that you're unable to move. So basically, now you can use your action to actually try to get away from the grapple, or you can try to attack the orc with the hopes that one hit can kill it. That will also relieve you from the grapple. Otherwise, you stay behind from the party unless the party decides to stay with you until you get rid of this orc.
Well, I am still quite taken aback by the sight of living dead orcs. And I hate orcs and I hate dead people, so I'm just going to attack. That's
right.
going to be...
One moment, please, before you do. The AC of these things is 16, but they're a bit sluggish, so you always have advantage on your attacks against them.
Well, I did throw a 20 total, so...
But an advantage means that you can roll another one, and if that's a natural 20, so unless you have a natural 20, it's always a good thing to roll again if you have advantage.
Oh, no, that's a natural 3.
All right, cool. So still 20 hits. Yep.
Now I roll damage with my spear, which is 1d6 plus 3. Oh, my damage with the spear is radiant. I don't know if that means anything.
It does, because these are undead.
Yes, that's going to be a 6 plus 3.
Well, you hit this creature with your spear, and it just cries like not a mortal orc or hobbit or elf has ever like given this sound before that you heard. Seems like you're burning it through its very soul, and it was just enough to make it leave you and just be a little bit more scared of you. And you can see it now groveling back into the crowd. Of course, that means just him. I mean, the others really have not tasted your radiant spear hits yet.
So that was my action, right?
Yep.
And now I'm no longer grappled.
Yeah, you're no longer grappled,
So I
you
can stand up and walk.
Yeah, you weren't brought down anyway. Grapple is in this game just grapple. I mean, they just hold you in place. They don't put you onto the ground.
One question: when he did that, like the attack, did we saw like something outside of him stabbing the thing, like anything special?
You heard the creature shout from this wound as it was like worse than actual wound, just poking it. Whether there are visual effects, that's up to Radi to tell us. I mean, but I don't really think they would be, because this is Middle-earth. It's still like a little bit dark and gritty. It's not like magical.
Yeah, I know.
Unless, of course, you're a wizard like Radagast who can do such things. Otherwise,
precision and craftsmanship. So I'm just going to stand up and use my the rest of my movement to go as further as I can.
Yeah, so you keep up with Radagast, of course.
Okay.
All right, Barador.
Oh, well, I guess I'm keeping very good with the wizard, and so far there's been no one around, grappled or in any danger.
Yeah.
Because then do I see ahead of me someone that might be?
All right, general choice here, unless you think of something else, would be like two things. So either you're defensive and you take the dodge action and just hope on the wizard that can get you through, or you still slash through the ones that are just coming at you, so that you can have less things to worry about.
Yeah, that was my idea, basically, the latter.
All right. So the thing is that the more you slash at them, the less there will be along the way, and you have about 3 turns to go through this, because it's difficult terrain and blah blah blah. And let's not get into specifics. So let's say 3 turns.
Yeah, just to clear the path for any further grapples and stuff like that.
Yep. Cool.
All right. So I roll for attack, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the AC is 16, and you always have advantage against these guys because they're sluggish zombies.
I started with 19, but I guess I can go for Well, 19, natural 19, which is +3, right? So 22 goes easy, and that's 8-sided dice. Oh, well. Do I add strength to damage?
Yeah, you always do it. So that's a 5.
Yeah.
All right. You manage to hit one of the orcs and make a big cut through its chest. Now, the thing that everyone sees, that this time the orc doesn't even give any sound that it was hurt. You see the flesh like opening, but there's no blood. There's no just like you're slicing dead meat on the table, and it's even a little bit drier than your actual meat that you would be slaying. There's maybe a few maggots that will just come out of there.
Nothing we can do here, brothers. Just run, guys.
So you continue along your way, and the wizard's storm around him kind of powers up, and there's now even more lightning coming down from the skies and hitting orcs around you, which stops the main mass, but still some of them seem to be more brave than the others and are trying to jump at people. But at first we have Gills.
Well, here Gills is just going to save, and it actually works a lot better than he expected. He's just going to stay on the defensive, close to his friends, and keep touching and hoping to get out of this alive.
All right, you're still doing that. Now orcs will be falling around you from lightning strikes, but some of them would still try to attack you. Gills, give me a strength or athletics check.
Athletics, okay.
Yep.
This is not going to be good.
Well, we only have to beat a 5, so.
Oh yeah, I go down. Oh, +0 because that helps a bit. Oh, 18. No problem.
All right, so another zombie lashes out from the crowd and just hits on your shield and falls on the ground. Another one is holding a spear and is trying to pierce your whatever armor you're wearing. Ooh, and this might be a hit. Let me
He's
double check
wearing
your armor.
16 will be.
Oh, that is going to be a hit, unless you want to do something about it.
I don't. Is there anything I can do about it? I don't think so.
Now with your newfound abilities, you can use your reaction to actually, use one of your gift dice to lower this number. I think. Don't you?
I think it's only to add for Alice. Let me check again.
Is it?
I think it was only for Alice. Let me check a second. Because I think there's an ability you get later on that can lower.
You get it later on to negate. All right.
Yeah, I think it's even in the base, like in the normal warden, but you get it at 6th level distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one. Let me just check a second, but I'm pretty confident it's just too lower.
If it's not, then you're going to take 8 points of piercing damage from a
Yeah, it's when an ally is about to untap an ability check attack rolls have it thrown, you can use your reaction to give them one of your gift die. But yeah, it's only to help an ally.
All right, then you take 8 points of piercing damage, and you give me a Constitution saving throw.
That hurts. 12.
12 is good. I mean, it stings more than usual, but you don't feel any further foul consequences of that blow.
Okay.
All right, now over to Darmdan. Now, they're a little bit afraid of him, but not all, like I said. One of them is still trying to launch one of his spears against him from a distance, and that's gonna be a miss. So you see the spear just going like a few inches away from Darmidan's head and just going into the other side and hitting one of the other orcs. And Barador, one of them is still going to try and grapple you. It's probably going to be another idiotic attempt, but give me one of your athletics or acrobatics checks.
All right. Well, no. That's 7.
So you
don't have advantage. No, but
but did you rage though?
The Battle Fury.
Uh-huh.
No, I haven't said that I started with Battle Fury, so I don't have advantage on strength checks. No.
All right, so this one manages to just goes for your waist, and you just try to get out of it, but in the very last moment, it falls on the ground and just grabs you by both ankles.
All right.
And you're unable to move from now. And another one is trying to slice at you with a scimitar, or like it's called here, a broadsword, but misses. And Darim.
Yes.
Darim. What's the last letter of your name, please?
M.
Darim Dam. It's very weird to pronounce in English. All right, Darim Dam. One of your friends is grappled. What do you do?
Don't worry, you run.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Don't worry about me, just run.
That's not happening, and I'm going to stab the orc that's grappled. You are a burning, right?
Yeah.
I always forget your name. Barador?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the time to know names. It's the time to run.
Pleasant to meet you.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I noticed I have something called Shadow Bane, which says +1 bonus to your attack rolls versus spiders, orcs, trolls, and evil men.
Well, good that you found it now and not in the end of the session.
So that's going to be a 9 plus 6. That's going to be a 15. I don't think it hits.
But you always have advantage against those.
Oh yeah, I
rolls,
do have
right, Sid?
advantage. Oh yeah, that's a 19 plus 6. That was 1d6 plus 3 radiant damage. That's going to be 5. Damage.
All right. This is a good hit. It doesn't automatically leave your ankles, but I'm going to roll a die now.
Yeah.
So it does. All right. Another one is hit by your furious spear and feels the burning of, let's say, elven magic and craft or whatever. Something that was infused into your weapon by some smith that was also a very good singer. And don't laugh. I mean, magic is song in this whole universe.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, it just leaves, just drops. No, it doesn't really drops because it didn't held them up. Relieves your ankles from captivity and tries to go back into the crowd. This guy. Cool. And as for movement, you probably remain with the group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, Barador, you're no longer grappled.
Stupid elf, one day you lose your life like that, which makes me super furious. I mean, I'm mad as hell, so that's a battle of fury, and I just run ahead, and again, I look for any orc that can stand in our way.
Go on. 16
All
AC,
right.
always advantage.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's 14.
So you swing wildly at the orcs and hit none.
Yeah, just madly, truly madly, deeply.
All right, so you are now almost 2/3 on your way towards the brushes, and you feel like salvation is close. Things around Radagast are not crazy. There's not only lightnings and a whirlwind that is going around him, which basically has taken up a lot of mud and leaves and other freely laying particles, and is just swirling in around them. So you see those things are just hitting the orcs like shrapnels and like other types of projectiles. It's also getting impossible for them to actually throw things at you, so they have to really come close and really to hit you. So things are looking pretty good. Gils, what do you do?
He stays to his tactic.
Stays to his tactics. All right. Now, the orcs are, of course, fewer at this point that would actually try to do anything to you. One will still try one last time to grapple Gils and keep him in, but he will roll natural 1. So unless you roll a 1, Gils.
I roll a natural 20.
Natural 20. So that's going to be an automatic. I won't ask you even to make an attack roll for it. So at this point, something cool, but not like fantastic or anything, you want to do to the orc that jumped out. You he got through the whirlwind, he got through all these sticks and stones that are swirling around and hit it. Try to grapple you, just falls face flat into the mud right before you. What do you want to do with it? And with your natural 20, if it's not something amazing, it's gonna not happen automatically.
And he's just going to be like, soon he sees like falling, he's kind of like panicked a bit, and he starts kind of like, yes, in his fright, he doesn't know what to do. He just starts like kind of stomping on it and hitting it with the shield as he can, like shush, 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 shush. He just hits it like not really in an elegant way.
All right, so you're gonna try and hit it with your shield, just scare it away. Is this like your first? No, it's not your first. We had a battle before.
second battle.
So it's basically the second bout of Gil's lives, right?
Yeah.
Last time, did you hit or kill anyone?
I think he hit, but oh well, yeah, I think he killed 1 or 2 dogs. But
All
no,
right.
he hit someone, but
No, wait.
only with.
We just grievously wounded.
Yeah, he killed a dog, and I think he just hit someone else with an arrow as they flew away, and that was it.
All right. So just as you are trying to, push this orc away from you, it seems like your combat instincts have, coming in right now, and you just managed to hit it right with the edge of your shield into the back of its neck, and it snaps, and the head is now like very loose, doesn't really seem that much connected with the body anymore.
He kind of stands there like a split second longer, kind of, oh shit, like it worked a lot better than expected, and he quickly regains his senses and makes sure he stays close to the orc, and taking again a step back and trying to cover himself.
Cool. It's like, did I do that?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Darren, Dan, only one is trying now to actually hit you. And that is a miss. There's a spear coming at you, just goes into the shield. Not really much effort in this one. Last one is trying to hit Barador. And that's another miss. In this huge whirlwind of stuff, they can barely see you, so they cannot really hit you. And you are just about to go to the edge of the thicket. Darim, what do? Basically, at this very point, since you are almost at the thicket, some of you may think that if you now just try and go for it, like instead of fighting or taking a defensive position or helping anyone, because there's no one actually to help at this point, there is a slight, logical reason, of course, if you just want to not follow Radagast's thoughts and just dash for the forest. Maybe you can just go into the wickets away from the zombies.
That was tasty, Radagast.
All right. But Darim then?
Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with Radagast as well.
Damn it.
Yeah, I think Radagast, with his glowing light around.
Why would you listen to an old man's...
He was
Noise about living dead bodies.
Because the alternative is a dark forest / marsh with dead zombies wandering around.
This old man is just calling lightning from the sky.
exactly.
It looks a lot better in my book.
Those are strong arguments.
All right, then. What are you going to do then?
I'm-
Attack something or take a defensive action?
I'm going to move behind Radagast, and I'm going to try and defend incoming attacks. So I'm just going to take a defensive action, I think it was called.
Yeah,
Defense.
it's mechanically it's called a dodge action,
Okay, I see.
but this is not just like a video game. So you can, if you tell me that you want to protect Radagast, you use your action to protect Radagast, I'll take it. And if something
Yeah,
attacks Radagast for any reason, you'll be able to stop it. Cool. Barador?
I would say take a defensive stance if there's nothing around us that much.
Well, there's like very, very few orcs are actually able at this time to actually go through that.
Yeah, I'll go.
All
I
right.
know that much.
And you are just about to go into the woods when there is there's something else there. Apart from the whirlwind that Radagast is making, which is basically subsiding not once he gets into the tree line, there's a sudden whoosh of some very shadowy, dark mist that just goes like that. and materializes before you, just like maybe 15 to 20 feet, which we're all Europeans here. It's something like 5 meters before you, and this emerges as a figure of shadow, but it's human-like. It has a cloak, which is ivory, and it seems to
Ebony.
Thank you. In color, it seems to actually just draw in whatever light in this twilight is there. And in its hand, just the final touches of this smoke materialize as a huge sword. And this thing, it raises its hand towards the whole party, but mostly Radagast, and starts speaking this. You cannot really understand the words, but they just your heart and soul is filled with dread and horror, and you're going to give me all wisdom saving throws.
Okay. No, I think. Well, yeah, I can actually do it.
Wisdom saving throws. Okay. Should I put it in the chat?
You can tell me the numbers.
It's 14 for me.
Can I? I think after they roll, I can choose to use this. Can I? It's a saving throw, so I can help them.
Yes, of course you can. And since it's a game thing, you can do it after you hear their numbers.
Yeah, actually, the feature says this after they roll.
Yeah, that's why they put it like in reaction and stuff. So Damina has a 14. Barador is what?
7.
Sorry, how much?
17.
17. I heard 7 and I was a bit scared of you.
I'm going to try to help the elf again.
And don't forget that you have to do it, of course.
Yeah, but I can help myself. So, and the elf gets a +6 to his save. I'll to roll max.
Nice. Your warden uses his gift to give you inner strength or something.
And I got what I get. Okay, what I add? I think it's going to be good. Well, oh yeah, it's good. It's modified 20.
Jesus Christ. You fucking ugly bastards. All right. Your soul is filled with dread. You don't understand the words, but you understand the meaning, and the meaning is that you're all doomed and you're going to die. You all get only 1 point of shadow, and you don't get all the other nasty things that you would have gotten because the DC was 17 and you all got about 17.
Whoa, really?
Nice.
Lucky bastards.
Wow.
Well, one part of me wants to know what word were nasty things.
Oh, they were very nasty.
Where's this?
You would have fallen into a sequence of things that in some time you could have gone mad and become under the influence of the shadow for at least a week or so.
Looking at the water, Bardo just realized that in the endless river of time, we have all died already.
Yeah.
Let's stop it for a moment.
This is the moment for all of you to realize that it's not only death in this world that is like the worst thing that can happen to you.
Yeah.
So Radagast shouts towards you, go away, and I'll meet you at Rosgobel.
Whoa. Should we leave him like that? Wow.
And well, basically, he has like very few sentences and words to explain it to you, but you hear in his voice some resolve, like something that tells you that you should basically listen to his words. You also do realize that you may not survive another mental assault from this creature right before you.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he says that, like...
But of course, you can decide to stay.
I mean, that's what's pretty damn dark and scary and shadowy, and he was already frightened. And when he hears like Radagast say that, he's already like turning tail and running as quick as he can, like with his sword legs, and being like, ah.
All right. Gills is following his, of course, character, and the thing that he's frightened at the moment, and he chooses to run. Basically, those are your two options right now: stay with Radagast and fight against the Nazgul, or run into the dark forest without Radagast, but away from the Nazgul and all the nasty.
What I was wondering if we should stay a bit behind and watch. To be honest, I mean, I've never thought about fighting the thing that raised the dead just before our eyes.
This is weird because people in Middle Earth are not really about entertainment, like watching a Nazgul fight. Also, it's not about entertainment. It's about getting experience against the enemy.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, just seeing one of the few battles that will ever happen in this world.
All right, I see.
Able to witness Radagast the Great fighting something that I don't know what it is. Just pulling up the dead and then fighting the greatest wizard.
All right. Is that your decision? Like, all right, Gills is going to run like hell.
I mean, stick with the group, because the thing that I was concerned the most all the time is losing a compatriot. So I would never leave them, defenseless and everything, but, just have a little bit of slow foot.
You're a man at the back, like, keeping up the rear and try to see as much as you can before you disappear into the forest.
What's happening?
All right, cool. What about you, Dominant? You're an elf, though, and you're probably the one dude that most realizes what the hell is going on. You do realize that, well, you cannot really tell for certain this is a Nazgul, but you can certainly tell that this is a creature of the shadow, and this is a very powerful creature, and basically...
Really bad.
Well, maybe whoever your father was is probably someone who may have fought these creatures in ages of past and may have told you about these things, and you would know that against the Nazgul, you would need at least an elven army or something, or of course a powerful thing like Radagast. So what you would think as an elf is that probably Radagast can hold his own, or else, I mean, his fate is his own and that of Middle Earth. It's not a thing for a young elf to actually put metal about. But if you decide to stay up and maybe survive and have your name spoken into history, if anyone survives from this, totally up to you. I mean, I'm not trying to, push you either way.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to get the hell out of there. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
All right. Same thing.
When Gil says like the elf probably overtaking him with his longer limbs, he says, "Oh shit!" Even the elf is running. He tries to run even faster.
If you see me run, just follow me as fast as I can. All right, you do so, and in the very rear, Berador, the Tall, is keeping up, and sometimes turning his back and trying to run backwards and see what's going on. What he sees and what everyone hears is this is not like a action scene from Lord of the Rings or anything. These guys are not fighting with their staffs and swords. Whatever. This is more like exchange of powerful words and booming voices, and things just because of those voices start happening around them.
Something like the Pass of Kardahas. I think that's how you pronounce it. When they were going to Moria, Saruman and Gandalf had something like this, right?
Yeah, something like that. But this creature, of course, is quite smaller than a Balrog, and but still, the foul mud and mist around it just swirls around and tries to break the defenses of Radagast. While Radagast's defenses are made out of sticks and stones and leaves, and they clash and things collapse around them, but these two are still standing. You can see that even the zombie orcs in the distance are not really approaching Radagast at this point. From the last glimpse that you see before you get further into the trees that you cannot see them anymore, is that in the place of Radagast, where there was an old frail man in a brown cloak and a very long oak staff, it seems that this guy has like a halo around him, and he kind of lights up. And in this place, there's like a beautiful creature that is even taller than one of the trees, and things around it are just doing its bidding. Like, he tells this tree to just go and smash those orcs, and he tells the wind to go and smash this other part. And just before you disappear, you realize that Radagast is, not this old guy that you've seen before. And you go into the forest alone in the dark, without Radagast to protect you. You are still surrounded by the evil swamps filled with orcs, and you are aware of the evil threats that are around you. So let's quickly go over them. At this castle that was among the swamps, there are orcs, and they are obviously the ones keeping it up and defending it. On the other side, there's Tyrant's Hill, where obviously some sort of woodman folk dwell, and they obviously have some relationship with the orcs. May not be that friendly, but still, it's not omnious. And that's all you know. Now you know that going through the forest and trying to get to the Blight would be quite a long way away, and without Radagast, it may be even harder than before. And going to Rosgobel is the shortest way, since Radagast shouted at you that he'll meet you back at Rosgobel. Maybe that's the obvious way you can go, but you still have to go past those orcs and Tyrant Hill. Another thing that maybe no one would expect is for you to just to turn around, make it round Dol Guldur and try to escape into the south of Mirkwood, for which parts you have no idea what's going on there. It's time for decisions.
I would say that on one hand, we should listen to Radagast, but he didn't say, in a week or in a year, So there is a part of it. And also passing around the Dark Tower again is always ominous. I don't think we should go to the south of the woods, because probably it would lead us nowhere. I mean, we might not get lost, but we don't know what's there. Well, getting to the Blight, it's where we're going anyways, and we're like halfway there, right? Just without our friend the wizard.
Gills is kind of panting, and so you say you still want to. I mean, I knew it was in favor of going to look for just Goodman, but I'm not sure it's the moment now. Can we go later, maybe? Or, I mean, it's true, Radagast didn't say we should meet him there straight away, but and you see he's kind of still recovering from the panic, not really convinced of going anywhere that doesn't seem like safety right now.
Well, we don't know what safety is right now. My point is that passing around the tower again without Radagast would actually be probably riskier than just going on our mission.
And before you continue, I just wanted to give you a little sense of time. So it's been just over a month after midsummer. That means you have about 2 months to go until the
Winter?
solstice, not the solstice, but the autumn, mid-autumn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the solstice. And then you would have, then of course, things will start to get ugly because you're in the north. So winter will be fast approaching, and just maybe a month and a half at most after that, it will be deep winter and things will be really rough to travel. Of course, you have the time until next midsummer to actually go visit the East Blight and go back to Woodman Town to report to Iscomer. So generally, you have about 11 months to go until that mission expires, to speak in game terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, we're just trying to say that if we want to go back, we will technically still be able to do it later.
Yes, but the thing is that
That we have
winter is
that
in the
option.
middle of
No?
is in
You
the
meant?
middle of that whole period. So yeah, there's the winter to consider, but you still have generally time. So there's like still spring and half of summer after that.
Mm.
But it's doable. It's doable if you want to do it now. I'm shutting up now.
Well, you mean that winter would catch us, to say so, in the Blight?
And if these people are indeed friendly as they say they were, that should probably not be a problem. But in case they're not as friendly or there's something else going on there, then you'll be caught away from everything during winter. That's what your characters would probably think. Because let's picture it. You're going to a place that you so far have been to places that you have not been before, but for the Baroning, it's like very close. So Baronings and Woodmen are like friends. Gilles is traveling from afar. He still knows that there's some sort of civilization along the Anduin. So, yeah, he was okay on the Anduin River, but on the other side, he's not really quite sure what's going on there at all. The elf is very well aware of the north of Mirkwood and what's going on there, because the Elven Kingdom is there, and there's like the boundary things between the kingdom and south of Mirkwood. But for him, the East Blight is just outside Mirkwood, and it's just outside the southern Mirkwood, and this is a place that usually him and his kin don't go to, and it's also quite unaware of what may be there.
So we are closer now, but we will be testing our luck.
Yeah, we will.
I mean, to be honest, the option to avoid like going by the castle and such right now, it's quite tempting. But I don't know.
Well, I say we go, it's three of us, right? I think south Mirkwood is out of the question, so it's either going back to
Rosgobel?
Yeah, to Rosgobel, or going to the East Blight. I think that's the other choice anyway. I'm for the East Blight because I think, if they're civil about it's dealing with Radagast right now. And in best of luck, he would, banish it from around. Worst of luck, we go to the East Blight and there's nothing.
Maybe there's also another thing to have in consideration. You see, Gilson's a bit more calm right now, like if he's recovering himself a bit, and I just remember also Radagast mentioned that he he will give us something for the help that we provide him, because we did something we didn't owe to, and maybe that will help later if we want to still go find this other tribe of goodsmen. I don't know. That's something you have in consideration. I don't really know what he might plan on doing. I mean, who knows? With his, well, wizards.
Yeah, there.
He's kind of relaxing. He just spent quite the amount of time next to one. And he's like, who would have thought this little expedition could be so eventful?
I think you're right, but that I still think in his blight there might be good stuff. So, I mean, I don't want to push a decision. I guess it's 50-50 right now, isn't it?
And now the elf.
Yeah, what do you think? You've been quite silent, my elven friend.
It's basically you who has to take the decision, want it or not.
Yeah, you put him in this place, so now whatever you say, my friend.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. Okay.
You do, muscle. I don't know.
I think going back to Rosgobel and waiting for Radagast to return is our best bet. We saw that there are some sort of magical defenses around Rosgobel, so we can't really be touched there. I hope, sincerely.
But getting there, should we go by the northern part of South Mirkwood, or we should pass by Tyrant's Hill as we did last time?
Well, I was getting to that.
There's a little doubt I have because I'm not clear. Like, if we head to the Esblight right now, so we wouldn't need to go past all these places we went before, like the Tyrant's Hill and the castle and all that.
Tyrant's Hill and Fenbridge Castle is actually the shortest way from Rosgobel to Dol Guldur. The thing is that you needed to go past these places on your way in because, Radagast needed to investigate and see for himself whether there's actually orcs in Fenbridge Castle. And Tyrant Hill is just, it used to be an outpost towards this. So basically, it's situated on one of the very few manageable courses through Mirkwood. So on your way back, if you want to take a shortcut, you have to find your way through the marshes and sneak your way past Tyrant's Hill. Those are the two tasks that you have to do, just like you did on the way in. If you want to, you can just choose a long way around through the forest unknown, Southern Mirkwood,
Exactly.
and you don't know what you might find there.
And if we went towards the Esblight, we could avoid both places, but we will also have to go through the unknown.
Basically, or you can head straight through the unknown and hope for the best. The shortest cut would be, of course, once again going through Fenbridge Castle and Tyrant Hill, and then instead of going west, you have to turn east at Tyrant Hill.
So
this is the one route you know already because you used to follow it on your first adventure.
So either way, we will have to go through there.
Or you can take northeast from where you are right now and just go through the forest of the Esblight without knowing what's on the way.
Yeah, I would say that's a good idea. But wait, now directly northeast is Tyrant's Hill or no?
They're almost directly north from you.
All right.
So basically, it's like there's a line between Rosgobel and the Esblight.
Yeah.
And these things are down here, so you went like this. If you go back and choose this is the narrowest of the forest. If you go like this diagonally, diagonally, you still may find your way, and you have to go to the forest without knowing what's in there. Otherwise, you go back through these places, this Fenbridge Castle and Tyrant Hill, and then you turn east, and then you are certain that this is the shortest cut from the forest, and you know some of the way that you used to go before home.
Above Band, I would say we go directly diagonally. I don't want to pass by Terrence Hill again. They had really big garrison there. They had a lot of patrols. They're probably, and obviously there's some dark force nearby, giving them strength in that. So I would say they've gotten more of the perimeter around it. So I would say go diagonally.
All right, Barador the Toe wants to go straight to the East Blight.
No,
Yeah, straight to the East Blight, which is actually diagonally from where you are.
No, to Rosgebel.
Oh, to Rosgobel.
Yeah, I mean, we decided on going to.
Oh, you decided already on Rosgobel. All right, and you want to go through the woods.
Yeah, not.
You want to go through the woods and not by Fenbridge Castle. All right, gotcha.
I mean, my proposition is go diagonally and not by Terrence Hill.
Gotcha. What about the other two? The known way or the unknown way?
Many evils lurk in the forest, especially in the parts that we barely know. I think our safest bet will be going back the same way we came.
He spoke first, so that now someone else has to decide.
God damn it.
No pressure.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Known peril or unknown peril? I mean, guess we were like the first time we didn't well, we have to go through the castle or just through Tyrant's Hall because the castle isn't necessarily in the way.
Yeah, but it's close by the marshes, and it just washes over the marshes and the swamps that you have to go by. So the two known tasks that you have is finding your way through the marshes and sneaking past Tyrant Hill. Those are the two things that you did on the way in, and those are the two things, of course, that you have to do on the way out. If you take that route, you know those two tasks.
I mean, no, okay, no, let's...
Two perils, two tasks.
I'm going to be, let's be honest, I'm going to think, like, if I think how guild will think, I mean, the elves, if it's this good, even if it's not this part, and the elf says we should go that way, we go that way. If not even the elf wants to go like through the good, he must have a good reason for it.
Good explanation. Like it. All right, so finding your ways through the marshes. You go back. You would think that you would know where you went through, but there's something mystical about this forest, and these marshes don't really look like they looked before. Maybe it's because of you're a bit scared and just still shaken from running through the woods for about 2 days, almost no sleep, and keeping dog watch and whatever, just never really willing to rest. Or maybe it's the deception of the Dark One. You would never know. But as you approach those marshes, they look quite different than before, so you have to find your way through, and that means survival checks all around.
For everybody?
Yep. This is a group check.
Do I roll like normally or still have any effect from the days before?
You're no longer frightened because you're now in the vicinity of Guldur.
Okay.
18.
14 for me.
I'm going to try to help the elf again with his check, because myself I got, yes, I got pretty low. I think it's not gonna make it. Yeah,
Alright.
yes, yeah, I got an 8, so no.
So what's your gift on the elf?
5, so whatever he got, that's 5.
Amazing, 2 out of 3. So even though you don't find the swamps as they were, Barador the Tall is the bravest. He just goes into the swamp without a care in the world. Of course, that's what it looks from the outside, but inside he's like checking every kind of reed, every kind of sunken route along the way for the possible pit traps of the swamp, so he doesn't, go into something resembling quicksand. And he's just marching on. The elf is following with his elven senses, also trying to read everything. And just as he was about to, make a mistake and go into the woods and somewhere fall into the mud, Gilles is the one who warns him about this place, that he should not go there. And let's just follow Barador the Tall at all times. And you, like very heroically, just pass through the swamps.
It's not heroic. It's actually Barador the Tall leading the way, and just grunting on its nose. We could be walking through the forest right now, not these swamps. My feet are tired. My belt is wet. I'm on there. Are you happy? Come on, Elf.
And without a care in the world, well, with a lot of what's the English word for it?
Luckily.
A lot of yapping and not a pleasant thing, not a pleasant time. But you follow Barador because, well, he seems confident, and why not? And you go past the swamps quite away from Fenridge Castle, so that you don't have to even deal with its inhabitants at this time. And you are back to the little stream where, luckily for you, you find the boat. Now, the boat this time is without its master, so it really needs some time to someone to actually row that boat. And for you, that will be, well, it's going to be a little bit downstream, so there will be a little help at least. But now you do realize that it was actually magic that guided this boat through the reeds and the roots and the swamps and whatever of this little stream, because it does really, what it seemed that is too big for the stream, well, now you realize that it really is. So I'm going to actually ask you for some idea. What are you gonna just simply row, or are like two of you are going to row and one of you is going to go to the fore of the boat and try to navigate? How are you gonna do that?
I guess my idea could be, like, if you say like the boat is kind of big for this place, maybe like there should be like one of us that's at least like kind of let's say like a watch, kind of looking that the boat isn't going to how do you say in English, like run aground or like get like stuck in some place.
Well, you can always like leave that boat if you want to continue on foot, but you know that this stream, this is the one that goes right past Tyrant Hill and will get you exactly to where you need to be without getting lost. So you can just, walk along that stream if you want to, or you can take the boat. It's totally up to you.
I mean, I guess we can try the boat, and if it seems like it doesn't move properly, then we can change. Just walk by the stream. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
I don't know. I think we should keep going through the woods, but it's too late for that now, isn't it?
We're technically going through the woods. Come on, brother.
I am good at rowing, but anything else, it's up to you guys at this point.
I mean,
Let's just go. How bad could it be?
I guess I'm rowing.
Yeah, well, I am. I think I should be at least. Being the strongest of us.
do we have actually like several rows in the boat?
On both sides, there are rows, yes, and there's a pair on each side. So if you want to, all of you can row without the need to actually, look out for any kind of.
I would say the hobbit should take the front and just look ahead and back for any dangers, while we can take the rows and just go through it. I mean, if need be, I am the one that could row on its own.
So yeah, you're definitely rowing. So give me an athletics check, and Darm and Dam decided to row. So you can just straight up go and give me an athletics check as well. Well, Javier, it's up to you now. Are you gonna roll as well, or are you gonna get at the helm of the boat and look out for?
Yes, Gil's. He's not certainly not the strongest, so he can still keep his own. But seeing these are treacherous places, I think he's going to want to just have an eye out.
So you can give me a perception check in this.
Perception, that goes with intuition, Yeah. Well, I have the same in all the three. So.
Nice.
Ooh, pretty good. I got a 20.
Rowing, I mean, better in the battle, But...
You just channeled your.
Yeah,
I got a 15.
You got a 15. Well, that's decent.
15 total.
That's decent. Well, I believe Berador is rowing so well that the boat is almost turning to one side. Barely managed to keep up with his rowing, and so you have to shout at him, just calm down, dude. Otherwise we'll be going in circles.
He's so angry that we didn't go to the woods.
But all of you succeeded on your checks, so that's awesome. You approach where Tyrant's Hill is watching over the water, but you're rowing so well and so fast, and your navigator is just making sure that you don't hit any of the roots that are coming out of the water. You don't hit any shallows, and the stream is also with you, so you're rowing along the stream. So even if you were noticed, you wouldn't have any care in the world, because the boat is just going so fast that no one would be able to actually pick up your speed and actually go ahead and catch you. So you don't really have to sneak past that this time. And you are able to go back to the lake where your journey with the boat started. Now there's this once again there's this creature that you saw in the distance. Well, you didn't actually see it, but the Hobbit told you about. The one that met Radagast on their way out. And she's still standing on this hill overlooking on the lake. She sees the boat coming in, and she kind of gracefully moves towards you, but when she approaches, she realizes that Radagast is not among you. So what you do see, and it's like quite a few meters away from you, when she realizes that Radagast is not there, she quickly takes off her cloak, and underneath you see like a naked woman that is half of her is covered in scales, and her hair is like very, very silverish white, and she very gracefully jumps into the water, into the lake, and just disappears.
Whoa! I tried shouting after it, And you saw how I roll.
I assume we have no idea what we saw, right?
Well, you can ask about along the wounds, man. This is actually obviously happening near their, inside their territory, sir.
Okay.
If you want to, you can do so.
Volunteer afterwards.
From here, it's just a few hours to Rosgobel. And when you get there, this time there are no squirrels meeting you. There's no like woodpeckers showing you the way. This time you're going into the village itself. And inside, there's like the usual village life, although this is a very, very, very small village. There's like maybe just a dozen of houses and a long house in the middle, where all the inhabitants are, like guests and everything. So you have been given like very, very rustic beds inside that long house, and you've been greeted with respect. People know that you left with the wizard, but actually no one is asking you like what happened with the wizard. At first, why he's not back. It does. At first, it seems weird to you, but then you, after you exchange just a few words with the guards, you do realize that this is something very normal for the wizard, for him to disappear and not show up his face for a while. So the only reason for them not asking what's going on is just because they find this quite normal behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys want to do in Rosgobel while waiting for the wizard?
What time of the year it is?
Sorry?
How much time passed? What time of the year it is?
Basically, on your way back, it's like it's been a month and a half after midsummer, so it's basically end of summer at this point.
All right.
Gils will probably, like, well, as he prepares to rest and everything, he'll try as he's exchange words with the locals. He'll probably inquire about that women with the scales and such that they saw. And also, go on.
You're a very sociable and talkative person, so
he's curious too.
You will find someone at the very last who is going to speak to you about it, and there's going to be over a nice strong drink. And this guy will start telling you about the river maidens, who are these beautiful creatures that have always lived in the cairn and along the river. And he would like kind of push his elbow into your shoulder and is like, and I'll tell you a secret. My own family comes down. The line comes down from one of these river maidens. Once upon a time, my great grandfather was such a strong and handsome man that one of those river maidens fell in love with him and gave birth to a child that was my grandfather. And since then, our line began, and that's why we're such good fishermen. And we always go by the river to spend our time. And he proceeds to tell you how awesome this is and why he's so special.
Oh. Really? Actually,
yes, really. And he nods.
Yeah. Really intriguing indeed and unique, I guess. Does he get the sense, like, at least does he believe what he's saying?
Well, you can always give an insight check to see that.
Okay. Oh man, that's good. Because I think insight is one of the things I'm good at.
Sorry?
No, I'm talking to myself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the. 25.
25. All right. given his body language and everything that he tells you, you can put two and two together. Now, he does believe that his line is following is really connected to the Raven Maidens, but all those things that he says about that being special and everything is just some. It's not like a lie, an actual deceit or anything. It seems like more like a white lie that father to son used to tell to each other. Just
Yeah,
make
I
them feel
understand why you
special.
want to convey. Jewel can leave like a small smile and be like, yes, indeed, it must be really special to be connected to these, well, curious creatures. Oh man, there seems to be many things really around here that's quite special. Those, I assume you, like, none of you usually wander in the forest, but I actually wanted to ask, like, I mean, I'm probably sure it's not good things given what I saw, but do you know what's like in the thicks of the forest? What kind of things inhabit there?
What kind of things in the thick of the? No, I have never gone beyond the river. The wizard tells us not to, and the wizard is old and wise, and he protects us all. So he knows better.
Yeah, I think he does too. He has been of great help of lately.
Oh, cheers!
Cheers to that. And he will gladly clasp his mug against this local and for once take a bit of a shade of relief that he finds himself about like safety again, even if it's for a brief moment, and kind of welcoming place with some good drink and the heat of the fire, enjoying the simple things in life once more.
For all of you though, who drink, of course, you'd realize that these guys' drink is really stronger than most of the things that you've tried before. Of course, it's smooth. It's very cool. It does. It's like a brandy of some sort, but it smells and has the taste of a lot of herbs that probably have been picked from the forest. But it's very, very strong. Imagine like something like maybe 60, 65 degrees, which is like the
Ooh.
normal for them.
That's a lot.
Any other questions you may have for the locals while you wait for the wizard?
Well, I don't have two plans. But first, I want to ask the locals if they've seen any woodmen with orcs together, or if they or someone has been attacked or something strange happening, by while doing their normal routines.
As you ask them these things, you see a little bit of fright in their eyes. Speaking of such things, they really feel protected against. And after spending a little time among them, you do realize that specifically these folk that have gathered around the wizard, they're not like the sturdy folk that you've met in the other halls of the Woodman, like Woodman Hall and then the River Hall and then Mountain Hall. You've probably been around. These are more like how to put it, inquisitive scholarly types, if you can say that for woodmen, of course, who have gathered around the wizard and really depend on the protection that he provides for this part of the forest. They tell you about the hedge that goes around Rosgobel itself, that it's itself what they say is magical because if anything foul just approaches Rosgobel, it gets entangled in this hedge and just stays there and it dies. And they even, since you probably disbelieve this, they take you to some place of this hedge, and they show you the remains of which is basically now mostly dried fur and bones of a wolf that probably approached way too close to the hedge and maybe wanted to get in to get some of the farm animals. And it does really seem that the hedge like took it with its vines and roots and just, you know, kept it in place until it died.
Mm-hmm.
So they tell you that they have not really heard or seen anything about orcs and evil woodmen. And even if you like say that some woodmen can be evil, they're like astonished by the thought, and they seem really worried about it.
Okay, then. Well, my plan was basically to patrol the forest around it, especially using my virtue, the night going, in the shape of a bear, in order to patrol the forest, like to see if there is movement of orcs and so on nearby.
Nice. Well, you'll spend quite a few days here waiting for the wizard. So you are probably doing this every night, and while you are doing your
every long rest, so I would
well, while you're in a thing that is considered a sanctuary, and this one will be considered a sanctuary because one of your party, although he's not here, is Marakar, the woodman, and he's actually from Rosgobel. So here you can spend a long rest.
Okay.
Here you're at home. Here you're like in a
Okay, I get you.
in a shrine. So you'll be doing your regular checks around the area. What you would see that is that few of those orcs that they call goblins, the one of the smaller folk, that they usually use for you know, scouting and hunting and not really into the front lines. You did not see any of those while you were at Guldur. They would be like approaching Rosgobel, but at some point they'll be like stopping, like thinking about it, and then going back. They won't be even going within a few hours away from Rosgobel.
How many of them usually?
They usually go into little groups of 2 or 3. So this will be like just like scouting groups. They won't be like an army or anything, or even a war band. They will be just like little scouting groups. They would seem to, well, they they at first you'll see them like going straight for something, and then suddenly stopping in the middle of nothing, as if they just got lost and bewildered and not knowing what they're doing, and then just wandering about aimlessly for a while, and then just going into a different direction. And you would, given the information that you already have, is you'd believe that this is part of the magic of Rosgobel, that such foul creatures probably cannot really find it or attack it. And this is one of the explanations, of course, why Rosgobel survived so long, being that close to southern Mirkwood. What about you, Raddy? What's the elf doing?
Well, the others of the party are technically here, right? Like Marakar, all agreement.
Oh yeah,
everyone else. Yeah, I was thinking the elf might stick with Marakar and like have a chat with him, but since Joseph isn't here, I'm not really sure what to do.
Well, is there anything like your PC in particular would like to know more about?
Well, certainly more about the defenses, but you already mentioned that, so.
Yeah,
that's
to you, Rosgobel will be just a little bit more like the peaceful and quiet parts of the kingdom of the elves of Thingol. Thingol? No.
Tarandur.
Thank you. Tarandur. Why am I thinking?
Yeah.
Thing? It's like a different nature. Yeah, it would be like protected by some sort of mystical at magic.
Yeah. Okay.
Would be well known to you. Well, not like exactly well known, but
Yeah. I'm just the feeling
normal
feels
for you.
familiar.
All right. Let's put it like this. Right here, you can actually spend a short fellowship phase. I believe you have acquired quite a bit of shadow. So
Yeah.
if you take a look at the book, one of the fellowship phases undertakings that you can take is actually getting relieved of shadow. Of course, there's others. If you want to keep that shadow and try to do something else, there are other things like if you look at the book, you can open this as a sanctuary, but it's already a sanctuary for you, so that's out of the question. Or if you find something else, of course, into the book, or if you can actually think of something which will be befitted for a fellowship phase, like a fellowship phase, you can maybe sit down and work on your weapon and try to make it better, or maybe you can go around and ask for the locals, try to find some gadget or thing that will make something that will give you some benefit. It's not like exact cold magical item in this setting, but it's for example
Little improvements.
little improvements like you can go about and ask for a little loot if you want to improve your performance skill by 1 or something like that. You can go around and ask for special tools if you can take from people that can increase your tool skills, some of your tools proficiencies by 1. Anything that in this fantasy game, so anything that can come to your mind about this, you can do. But I'll leave this as a decision for you that you can do outside this live session, so that you have spent one fellowship phase and you can do something. Of course, relieving shadow is like almost the obvious choice, but if you think of something else, just let me know later into our own chats and whatever. For now, since it's a very good place to actually finish, we'll finish like this. After 2 weeks, the wizard will finally reappear, and this time it will be like something that the villagers have rarely seen before. And this time he will personally come into the village and just basically take you, ask all of you for you to come with him to his little house, and everyone will be like, you see them, they're like very excited. This really hasn't happened in the past few years. He will look mad, like this very, very fine old fellow that you're seeing, very calm person, would look really, really mad about what had been going on. This time he will speak in very harsh and sharp sentences, and he'll even almost use bad words, like the equivalent to fucking whatever. Once he's gone to, of course, his cottage, though, there he will calm down, and there he will brew his awesome herbal tea and give it to everyone. And then he will tell you how proud he is from your help, for your help, and he's so grateful that you choose to follow him, and he's so happy to see you, that you're back in alive and not really hurt from the shadow. He will understand that now shadow is like hanging heavy on your minds and your thoughts and your soul, and he will kind of start telling you about how the shadow is rising, and this is something that has happened before and has always been defeated. So there's always hope for the mortals and of course for elvenkind. So this will automatically slash 1 point of shadow from your scores. So you can just take that down, spending the time with the wizard. This is one of the boons that you get from him. The other boon would be that he will go into his cupboard and give you a glass bottle. This will be a very small bottle, like maybe this big, maybe more like a vial. And he will tell you this is his special brew. This would be a very strong alcohol brew, even stronger than the ones you had just for fun back in the village. But it has medicinal purposes. But he will actually really stress upon that. You should not take more than one sip. Never do so. Even if you're in the direst needs, just don't do more than one sip. So he gives you this medicinal vial, which has 6 uses, and one of you should be the keeper of it, because in times of need, it depends on who's got it on his backpack. So it's for you to decide who
Well,
got it.
when he says like one sip ever?
One sip at a time.
Okay.
Maybe for a week or so. The other thing he will give you is a little bag. It's like a satchel. It's like about this big. The moment you touch it, it's warm on the touch and it kind of vibrates. It tells you that this little satchel should be used once again in a direst of needs. When you open it, a huge storm will erupt. It will not like help you in any way that you can direct it at someone, but it will be strong enough to create a distraction so that you can maybe try to escape into the storm unseen.
It's like a portable storm.
It's like what he did for you in Guldur. Like it will create a small pocket of safety and great chaos all around you so that you can sneak away.
Nice.
And he now tells you that he can do one more thing for you without getting in trouble himself. And this will be to bestow a blessing for you for your next journey, with whatever you decide for it to be. And he tells you that he can give you the help of his animal friends along the way, so that they can be your eyes and ears. He tells you that he can give you a blessing for the forest to conceal you and keep you away from prying eyes. Or he can bless your feet in the case of the hobbit, and boots in case of everyone else, so that you can always find your way home and do not stray away from your path. So you have to decide which one of those 3 blessings you should get for your group, and who gets to hold on to the 2 items that he's also giving you.
So it's either having the animals kind of as scouts as while we're going on this travel.
Yes.
Getting like help to stay hidden, or getting like not getting lost.
I guess whatever we ask them to.
I mean, I think because if we try to go to the east place again, I guess we will go through the narrows like we were going the first time. And Merigar seemed to knew pretty well that part of the forest. So, I don't know. I guess we won't get lost. Maybe. To be honest, if I have like the boat, I think I like the stay hidden part. So I mean, the animals can also work kind of to warn us, so they seem kind of similar to extent.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was saying that if I have kind of the boat, I think I like they get in like the forest itself to conceal us from potential danger in case we have kind of to go. Seemingly, there's like orcs and seemingly evil woodmen around. Maybe it will help to get past them, like we have to do recently.
Yeah, but the thing is that this thing cannot save us from the dark force that attacked us near Guldur, for example. So to be honest, I like help from animals more, because that way we can know about something happening before it happens.
Yeah, well, that's why I say that option is pretty good because it warns you in advance. Man, I know.
Yeah. Oh, it's what Radagast uses all the time now, doesn't he?
Oh, he uses all of them.
Yeah, well. Also. So yeah, my vote goes for help from animals.
What do you think, Raddy?
There were 3 options, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Help from animals to be your eyes and ears. Concealment in the forest so that you remain unseen on your travels. Well, relative is not like automatic or something. And like be light on your feet, like blessing for your boots and feet so that you don't get lost and always find your way home.
Yes, right.
So far, Barador, as far as I understand, prefers the help from animals to be your ears and eyes. Gills is more about concealment in the forest, but it's almost like all right with the second option, which is the animals being your eyes and ears. What do you think?
Well, we have no. We've been doing all right so far with sneaking around, concealing ourselves. So I suppose the animals will be our best bet right now.
So is that your final choice, Radagast asks?
It is.
Let's go, yeah.
All right. He gives you a satchel, a smaller one than the one that has the storm in it. Inside, you can open it now, and you can he can show you how that works. There are seeds, but those types of seeds that have this little wings attached to them that you see sometimes in winter when they fall from the tree. They do this little helicopter thing.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he tells you that whenever you're in need, you can just grab one or two of them and just throw it in the air, and a bird or an animal who sees that sign will come to your aid and be your eyes and ears for a while. So one of you, of course, has to keep that satchel in them. The other one you have to decide who gets to keep the storm satchel, and the third one, the third thing is the drink.
I would love the drink, but I think having the storm in me could be really beneficial because usually the fight is going on around me. But then again, the elf is quicker and he can use it better, probably. Well, I can always take the drink.
Yeah, the thing is about it is like who only holds them. Like the drink, you can always give it to other people, and the storm is for everyone, and the other things for everyone. Just in case someone dies or gets lost,
or something happens and we have to use it in the next moment.
Goes mad or something.
Oh well, I think it's pretty even there. Everyone's a suspect in that case.
Because you can always get a bout of madness when your shadow reaches one of your mental scores. So.
As I've said, I've never been one of the smartest, so maybe I shouldn't keep that storm in the back.
If you want to, you can decide later. I mean, you don't have to decide now, but I still have a few minutes.
I mean,
So
we can
we can do it right now if you want to.
Yeah,
tag this.
say
We can also tag it with the others that couldn't come here today. Mind waiting.
yeah, in case need. Well, I would just say the hobby takes the help from animals sign. I can take the drink, carry their hunt in my bag for safekeeping. And
You won't drink it all at once, you know. You promise.
and
Just
the
don't
storage bag, well, I probably should go to the elf. He's the smartest of us. No offense to the hobby. Yeah, sorry.
Hobbit is your scholar.
I am so dumb that I forgot what I was saying when I started saying.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, sometimes I get lost in the bathroom, man. Really. I just where I am.
Yeah, it's anyway. Yeah, I'm okay with that, and if not, we can always mention it later and decide like before the next session who wants to keep it thing. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, we can let the others watch this, and then we can talk about it.
I think that's the easiest decisions we had to take so far. I mean, just about. But yeah, okay. So we leave
Well,
that.
you did not really expect, easy decisions, did you? This
think
is
that-
Middle Earth, like the shadow is rising. Time for heroes. Stuff.
you
Yeah,
just-
you are always offering like decisions in every session. I'm liking it.
Well, I think we're fine to be honest.
All right. Before we conclude tonight's session, I wanted to speak a little bit about the scope of that I have in my head about this campaign. Now, first of all, a few reminders. I've already given you so many hooks. I mean, not only the East Blight, not only Guldur, which is like I think I made it obvious that you probably shouldn't go back there until you're like, very very powerful enough to influence.
Nazgul.
Well, influence. Let's say influence. Middle-earth's fate. But because of your, I think, scholar, news from afar, you already know rumors from around the place. You know that something's happening at Mountain Hall on the other side of the Anduin. Goblins from the mountains are trying to, do things there. You know that some of the people are re-inhabiting the certain wastes which are just below Mirkwood. You still have to, of course, go to these blight and see what's going on there. You already know that dwarves are trying to go along the old forest road and try to reopen the shortest cut through Mirkwood, but they apparently got lost or something. I'm going to, because, well, he's not here, but he would have used his news for far anyways. So I'm going to give you two other things. I'm going to give you that in a year in Dale, there will be a huge celebration. It's going to be 10 years after the Battle of Five Armies, and there will be a lot of things happening there. So people from all over the place will be gathering in Dale and celebrating. And another thing another news from afar, it's going to also be from the Dale, and that's going to be that actually. What was the name of this guy? Bart or Bart? I mean, Bart. Somewhere I've read it as Bart, but anyways, Bart is looking for a wife, and he's actually sent emissaries to Dorvinion, which is further to the east from Rovanion. But there seem to have been some complications with that. But at least he's established some sort of relationship with these people. These are people which are apparently northerners who also came from the River Anduin, but in days have passed, they slowly drifted to the east. They're not part of the Easterlings or any of those tribes, confederations, and nomad people. They've settled there. There's also rumors that they've mixed with some of the elves that used to live there, some of the gray elves that live in that region. And of course, you've, as an elf, heard that they make the best wine in Middle-earth, at the known Middle-earth. But something is happening between the Deo and Dorvinian, so this is not a place that you can go and check what's going on. It's totally up to you from now on where you're gonna go, what you want to see, which part of Middle-earth you want to influence. You won't be able to influence all of it. You won't, just like Radagast would say to you, your fate is your own, but just remember, you cannot save everyone, you cannot do everything. You have to just decide for yourselves what you're gonna do and put your work into it and just do it. Also, the scope will be years and years on end. So those of you who are human or hobbit, this means that you probably grow old. We'll be jumping with montage scenes through the years. There will be like a chapter which you will finish probably soon enough, probably until the next midsummer or so. And then if everything goes well, then we'll start in the next chapter, which we, between those chapters you have a few years which will go back to your home places. Some of you just think as your characters, because some of you may just want to start a family, buy a farm, do something about it. And then in a few years, fate will come calling for you to go on to another adventure, and then another adventure, and then another adventure. I love Middle-earth. I want to actually have this campaign span through all those, I think, 60 plus years that are in between the Battle of Five Armies and the beginning of the things that started the War for the Ring. We know what is going to happen in general in the world, but we don't know exactly what is going to happen to Rovanion. So don't worry. Sometimes your heroes may die, or may just get too old, or maybe acquire too much shadow, so it's logical for them to continue. Like if you acquire too much shadow, you probably have to spend years in your homestead to actually get rid of this shadow. But then if you get married and if it's been like 18 years, and then maybe some of your heirs can take the mantle and just continue on the campaign. Or it could be someone you meet along the way and make friends with, or maybe another character. So I'm saying all of this because you have to also start thinking this way, because I really want to run this, and I really want to run this for a while. I'll try to run it as much as I can, probably once a week, or once in 2 weeks, and I'll definitely start doing it like I did today. I'll usually do it on my day off. I have some liberty in choosing my day off. So when I do my votes and polls and whatever, when I see the days that you guys choose, I'll try to make my day off so that I'm not tired, so I don't cancel any more games, because this will remain my main campaign. Any other games that I do will be like outside this. I want to keep this as going, and if you want to do this as well, it's gonna be awesome. So that we can do this like in a large scope campaign with all the character development and history and all that shit inside it. And that's me stopping from monologuing, because sorry about that.
But it's cool that you share all this, and
Yeah.
it's really cool. I mean, since you really, you never know what's going to happen, and they will very much so like that we can continue this song for as long as possible, I guess.
Well, I just wanted to share my plans with you guys, because if I started writing this down, and I could have gotten lost and blah blah blah. If you're cool with that and you want to keep up with it, fine. If at any point you get tired, or you want to do something else, no worries, no bad things. Just let me know at any point. I can probably find some other people or just continue with 4 or 3 people. But this is something that I'm really looking forward to do as a long campaign, because since I got this girl pregnant and now I have a kid, I haven't been able to do like a really long campaign with all this character development and all that shit. So, oh, this was on a recorded part. I have to cut this.
Yeah.
Yeah.